Okay, today we're diving into the wild, lightning-fast world of one-hour delivery in China. Seriously, this service is completely changing how millions of people shop, live, and think about convenience. So let's get right into it. And this is the big question, right? You might be thinking, hey, next-day delivery already feels like magic. Why on earth would I need something in 60 minutes? It sounds a little extreme, maybe even a bit of a gimmick. But as you're about to see, the real story here is so much more interesting. And that's the thing. This isn't some luxury service for a select few. We're talking about a mainstream, everyday expectation for tens of millions of people. Getting your groceries, a new phone charger, a snack, you name it, in about an hour is just normal. So the real puzzle isn't just why it exists, it's how it got so big, so fast. To really get it, you have to understand that this didn't just happen by accident. Oh no. This was a deliberate, super strategic move by some of the biggest companies in the world. And a great place to start is with the e-commerce giant JD.com. So JD.com basically sees their whole industry in three big stages. First, you had what they call long-distance e-commerce. You know, the classic model. Huge national warehouses shipping stuff to you in a day or two. Then things got faster with near distance, warehouses right in your city making same-day or next-day delivery possible. But for them, that's all old news. They believe the future, the final frontier, is short distance, tiny, hyperlocal storefronts delivering things from just down the street, right to your door in about an hour. And you really gotta let that sink in. For these companies, 1-hour delivery isn't just another shipping option you can select at checkout. No way. They see it as the logical endpoint, the final evolution of their entire business. It's the next great battlefield where the winners and losers of e-commerce will be decided. But you know, a corporate vision is one thing. What about the customers? Why do they actually want this? And this is where it gets really fascinating. Because the secret sauce here isn't in some corporate boardroom. It's about solving a very real, very human problem that surprisingly has less to do with speed and more to do with something else entirely. Okay, so here's the hidden hook. For a lot of people in urban China, getting a normal package can be a real pain. You know, if you miss the delivery guy, it's not always easy to reschedule. Sometimes you have to trek all the way to a depot to pick it up. But 1-hour delivery, it flips the whole thing on its head. You order it, you know it's coming right now, so you know you'll be home. It's not just about getting it fast, it's about the certainty of getting it, period. So who is this person that values certainty so much? Well, the data couldn't be clearer. A whopping 2/3 of all instant delivery users are women. That is a huge clue. Now, let's add another piece to the puzzle. If you look at the ages, the biggest group by far are people in their 30s. You might think it'd be college students or folks in their early 20s, but nope, they're not the ones driving this. And when you put those two clues together, you get this incredibly sharp picture. The number one power user, the person this entire industry is basically built around, is the 30-something working mom. The data shows that 3/4 of users have kids, and of that group, most have kids in primary school or younger. Think about it. They're busy. They're juggling a million things at once. For them, this service isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. And because this user is so central, we're seeing totally new shopping habits pop up. This isn't just for emergencies anymore. It's replacing the daily trip to the grocery store. It's for replenishment. That moment you're in the shower and realize you're out of shampoo, you just order it right then and there. It's for impulse buys. Ooh, that snack looks good. Let's try it now. And it's perfect for gifts because you can make sure your friend gets it at the exact time you know they'll be home. Okay, so it's a brilliant strategy from the companies, and customers absolutely love it. This whole thing sounds like a home run, right? A total win-win? Well, not so fast, because what looks like seamless magic on your phone is, behind the scenes, an absolute operational nightmare. This quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of the problem. This isn't some rare complaint, it's a super common frustration, and it points to a massive breakdown between what you, the customer, are saying and what's actually happening in the store. Let's use the retailer Watsons as an example to see exactly how this goes wrong. So the whole issue can pretty much be boiled down to this. You have retailers trying to run this futuristic service using two separate, old-school systems that just don't talk to each other. Okay, so here's how it all falls apart. You're on the app, and it says that your favorite face cream is in stock. Great. But here's the catch. That app's inventory might only get updated manually, maybe a few times a day. Meanwhile, in the real world, someone just walked into that physical store and bought the very last one off the shelf. The store's cash register knows it's gone, but the app, it has no idea. So you go ahead and place an order for an item that literally doesn't exist anymore, And the fallout is just a disaster. Your order gets canceled, but it gets worse. Maybe you only bought that item to get free shipping on your whole order. Well, now that promotion is gone. You've wasted your time, you've lost out on a deal, and now you're just completely angry at the brand. It's a terrible experience. So this brings us to our final and honestly our most critical point. Because of all these insane operational hurdles, 1-hour delivery is not a game you can just dip your toes into. Here's the bottom line. Try and offer this service without being fully 100% committed is just a recipe for disaster. The cost of the technology, the delivery network, and the risk of creating all those frustrated customers, it's just too much. A half-in approach just bleeds money until you eventually have to give up. So what does all-in look like? Well, check this out. Alibaba's Hema Fresh supermarket. When they launched, the CEO set a goal that people thought was completely insane: 5,000 online orders per store per day. To put that in perspective, that's more than the total number of people who walk into many big supermarkets in an entire day. And this, right here, is the all-or-nothing principle in action. You need that crazy massive scale, those 5,000 orders a day, to make the whole system profitable. That volume is what makes your delivery routes efficient. It gives you enough data to know exactly what to stock. And it brings in enough money to pay for the incredible technology you need to make sure your app and your store are perfectly in sync. Anything less than that, and the model just collapses. Which leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. This whole 1-hour delivery thing started as a cool convenience, but it's quickly become this high-stakes, all-or-nothing race that only the biggest and most committed players can survive. And as technology keeps making us expect everything faster, better, and more seamless, you have to wonder, what's the next part of our lives that's going to turn into a race where you either have to go big or just go home?